Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Princess Secrets Show. I am your hostess, Norma Bryant Howard, and I'd just like to say thank you so very much for joining us this, I guess you call it sort of like a hazy, lazy day in the summertime on a Friday evening. But thanks so much for coming in and joining us this evening. Once again, my name is Norma Bryant Howard, and I'm coming to you live from the beautiful 2020 studios straight out of the Ville. But before we get started with our show this evening, I'd like for you to do me a really, really big favor. What I'd like for you to do is to tag at least, I'm going to say five, anywhere from 5 to 10 of your best friends, and ask them to please just come and join us because we got an exciting show this evening with a lot of good information. And I've got one of our distinguished well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you just a second, okay? But what I want you to do, tag 5, 10 of those friends, and I'd also like to ask you to please join my YouTube channel, and don't forget to like. And don't forget to share when you get to my YouTube channel, because that helps with that big word, that helps with those algorithms. Okay, so continuing with our Prince episodes that we're having, our Prince series that I started a couple of weeks ago. I've got a fabulous young man who's going to be joining us in just a few minutes, and he's straight out of the Ville also. And if you're wondering, and if you're all the way out there in California, if you're down in Atlanta, you're in New York, Mississippi, you're in Texas, and you're wondering, well, what Ville is that? Well, I'm going to tell you, straight out of Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks so much again. So, our guest, without further ado, and I don't want you to wait just a minute longer because I want to introduce you to him, because what I call him is King of the beauty industry. He is the king of the beauty industry. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to this gentleman right now. And his name is Mr. Terrence T.S. Elliott. So, hello, Terrence. How are you this evening?
How are you doing? And hello to
Oh, I'm
everybody
just
out there. I do thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so very much for including us in on your busy schedule, because he stays busy. And what I'd like for him to do is just introduce himself, tell us a little bit about who is Terrence T.S. Elliott. Who are you? What do you do? Where you're from? How long have you been in the beauty industry? Just tell the audience, because you know what they say, inquiring minds
Who
want
want to
to
know?
know. Okay,
Well,
all right.
they call me Terrence Elliott, T.S. Elliott. I'm the owner of T.S. Elliott Salon in Louisville, Kentucky, 1100 South 7th Street. Well, tell you a little bit about me in the industry. I am what considered called a master loctician. I do locks for a living. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I have my own salon. Like I said, I have 6 people that work for me. So I've been growing and growing, and I weighed my options on. I started out in the business doing relaxers, cut. They used to call me the quick weave king, but I started following my passion. So I stayed with that direction for about 7 years, and then I leaned more into the locks. So that would led me right here, and I tell you, it's been great, and it's been plentiful. Let's just say that.
Well, now some people in the audience, they may not know what a loctician is. What is a loctician, and exactly what does a loctician do?
Well, a loctician is one that is controls your hair and locks your hair to give you locks. There's a word that we say it's kind of the same thing, dreads, but we don't use that word because they say that word says it means dreaded. But
Okay, all right.
yeah, so it's kind of like how we talk and how everybody talks. We do say locks, definitely in this industry. So what I do
Okay,
is I groom the hair. I start the
okay.
hair from just a little afro, or and then I start taking it through its process, and then down the line, 29 years later, you might look like
Oh
this.
my goodness.
Oh.
And that's some hair. Give it to me. I need it. That's some hair.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love it. And you
Yeah.
do that for men and women, I've heard.
Yes, yes.
You
Men,
do that
women, and
for
kids, and I've got Caucasian clients. So I'm very diverse in the field. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
Love
Very
it.
interesting. Very interesting. At the end of our interview this evening, I'm going to invite, some people to join the chat and
Okay.
they can ask some questions.
All right.
But somebody told me that you are a member of the very first Black Chamber of Commerce. Can
Yeah.
you just elaborate on that for just a minute? Because I'm sure in some
Okay.
of the states that we're touching tonight, they
Yeah.
may not have ever heard of a Black Chamber of Commerce. So just elaborate on that for just about a
Well,
minute or two.
it's _Black Chambers of Commerce. I got into it with my founder, John Shawu, when we first started out. It's probably been about 3 years ago. What the program is a very successful program. It helps Black entrepreneurs to pursue their dreams and goals because sometimes we have obstacles as Black entrepreneurs trying to break through certain doors. So with this
Mhm.
program, with this _, Black Chambers of Commerce, I'm able to branch out and do different things and meet a lot of great people. And through my founder, we have been very successful.
Okay, and you all are having some event coming up soon. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we got tomorrow. I'm going to _, Black Chambers of Commerce for realtors. They have a realtor. We have different segments in our _, Chambers of Commerce. Somebody might work with realtors. Somebody might work with constructions. Somebody might work with people that's doing multiple different things. So it's kind of
Okay.
designed that if you get into the chambers, there's somebody that you can work with and can work with you to better yourself. And to even what it does, it helps better them too.
Okay, so
So it's an
we got
all
it up.
white
We
party
got
too.
it up right now.
Yes, that's right.
www.norbcc.
Yes,
Right.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that is so interesting. That is so interesting. And y'all are having an all white ball tomorrow.
All white affair.
All white affair.
Yeah,
That sounds really, really great. That's great. And perhaps people from this particular area could probably do a little investigating and find out all
yeah.
about NOR.
Come on out. We'll love to. We'll love to see you. I think tickets are still available. It's an all white affair. So the women
Uh,
of Noir with realtors are putting it together,
oh,
and it's going to
wow.
be a good time. So it's
That
get
sounds
there. Come on
interesting.
out. I think
All
tickets
right.
start at 35 and VIP is 55, and it's a
Wow,
good day.
sounds interesting. I just might look into that,
Yes,
Terrence.
ma'am.
I just might do that.
If they
So
got bourbon,
now,
they got a bourbon sipping tasting
oh,
in the
a
beginning
bourbon,
from
right?
seven to from 5 to
And we're
7.
known for bourbon in this part of the
Yeah,
country. Yes,
yeah.
Louisville, Kentucky, known for we're the bourbon capital of the world. We
Yes, we are.
definitely are. We're the
Yes, we
bourbon
are.
capital of the world.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, now we want to get into the meat of the conversation
Yes, ma'am.
this evening. We want to get into the meat of it, of our conversation. And the title for tonight's discussion or interview is What Men Really Desire in a Woman. What men really desire. This program is really designed. Initially, was designed for single women, and then wanting to find out some, all the nuances of being in relationships. And
Yes, ma'am.
then we had some, married people who wanted to find out a little bit more about how to improve their relationships. So we've got various generations. We've got baby boomers. We got people that are millennials and Gen Xers. We got a lot of generations who are interested in finding out all the information. And
Yes, ma'am.
since you are our second prince, just
All
the
right.
second one that's been on our show, we've got some good questions, and hopefully some of the ladies in the audience can
Okay.
ask you some questions at the end. So are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
If you're ready, okay, here we go with question number one, Terrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Number one, can you name 2 or 3 qualities that you find desirable in a woman? What do you, Terrence, T.S. Eliott, what do you,
T.S. Elliott.
T.S. Eliott?
I think my major thing is conversation. Yeah,
Conversation.
like I tell people, you don't have to go out and look for something from somebody. You can get a big charge just off of going out, just sitting and having a conversation with somebody. It'll help you, and you just like, wow, this person is really great. So definitely, a conversation, and number two is someone that is understanding on definitely for me personally my journey, because I'm a busy man. So I need somebody that is will be very supportive. And we
And
if we don't have
mhm,
support, it's rough for a man. You know, you want somebody in your life that you want to be able to get up and do what you have to do as a family, as a man. But if somebody's not supportive, it is very. It's like the kryptonite.
right, right, right. So, in other words, he says number one is conversation, being understanding, being supportive, having a conversation. Because I always go back to the lady I heard about. She was gorgeous, but they said the only thing that she ever talked about with a man was talking about the soap operas. This is years ago. No man wants to know about what you saw on the soap opera. So, having a conversation and being, read the newspaper or watch the news every now and then, and
Mhm.
be goal oriented. Men like women that are goal oriented, having their own goals and then supporting you in
Right.
your goals.
Yes,
Is what
ma'am.
is what you're saying. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am. And it goes both ways, you know. And so I
Right,
tell
right,
people, I'm gonna
right,
support you, you know, and we support each other, and we just make
right.
it happen.
You can make it happen. Definitely, definitely. I really do like that. So, but tell us about one thing. Now we're going to flip that coin over. He was saying
Okay.
conversation, be goal oriented, supportive, and all that good stuff. He'll support you, you support him, and all that good stuff. But is there anything that you can think of off the top of your head that would turn you off, that a lady would do and has done to you, and you like, oh my goodness, we'll never be able to make
Uh,
it because she does ABC or
yeah.
XYZ, and I just can't take it.
I
What is that? We
I
want to
think
know.
it would be more for me, taking me for granted.
Taking you for
Um,
granted.
when you're a man's man, you just do man things.
Absolutely.
So sometimes in you meet somebody, you know, you might do something for them, and I feel like that sometimes that if you do too much, it's getting taken the wrong way. So it's like
Okay.
you feel like your kindness is being taken for weakness, and
Oh
it's not
yes.
that. I just like to make sure my woman's good. You know, I want to. It's if I see something out, or if if I want to get your nails done, let me do it. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow.
Don't ask me on a continued basis. So a lot of that times like that, it runs me away because you feel like that somebody's trying to use you
Someone is
and
trying to
not
use
being
you.
there for you.
Oh, I like this. And I hope that all the ladies that are in the audience this evening, I really, really hope that they're taking some notes. They got their paper, they got their pen with them, and they're taking some notes because Mr. Elliott is giving you ladies some excellent advice. He doesn't want to be taken advantage of because he's a very kind gentleman. That's his nature, is being just kind and being giving. And I would imagine that there would be some women out there in the world who are not used to men like you, who were just giving and kind and just want to make her happy. And she would look at that kindness that you possess as a form of weakness. And
Right.
that would definitely be a big, big turnoff, not
Right.
only to Terrence, but to a lot of other men. So, ladies, take notes. I'm loving this. Okay, number three. We're ready for the third one.
Yes,
Have
ma'am.
you ever dated a woman who, and I'm going to use this term, I hope everybody knows what this means, who man bashed? She was with you, but she was man bashing all night, and she was talking about men, what men do, and men are, I just don't, appreciate men because I think all men are dogs, and you were taking her out on a date as a man, and
Hmm.
she's going to spend her time to man bash all evening long to talk about men. They don't take care of they got children. They don't take care of their children. They this or that. Has that ever happened to you? And how did it make you feel?
It sometimes I notice that a lot of women they'll come with baggage. They'll
Mhm.
bring their past relationship into the new relationship, and then what you hear that whole time, what this man did, or he didn't do this for you. So when you're hearing this conversation, you're like, you know, you're not over something, you know, but if you want to be
Absolutely.
with me, you have to give me a chance and not to hold on to your past and bring your past in it because, see, I'm T.S. Eliot. I'm not Bob from the block, you know, so
True.
you feel me what I'm saying, you know,
Absolutely.
and I
Absolutely.
think that, you know, there was a song, Erica Badu song, Bag Lady. And
Oh, absolutely.
bag lady meant like you're carrying all your bags, you're bringing all your problems into a new circle if you're dealing with somebody. So that would run that person off. And I've been ran off a lot of times like that. You know, I'm single by choice, and being single by choice is if I go with a gut feeling. So if I do go on a date and I feel like this might not be going in the right direction, I pull off of it real quick because I done
Right.
spend a lot of time in a relationship, and what I thought in the beginning was at the same thing
Right.
at the end.
Right, right, right. And I have interviewed people for my book because I do have a book out there. Let's see, can I pull it up here?
All
It's
right.
called Prince Charming, Where Are You? And in my book, in one of my chapters here, I talk about that where ladies bring baggage with them. No man wants to be on a date with a woman. And as you said, she's talking about Bob from the block. You don't want to hear, but you don't know him. You don't want to be part of her past issues in life. You are starting fresh and new, and she should be starting fresh and
Right.
new and should realize no man wants to hear about what happened in your past relationship. So you should bury all that baggage. You
Right.
should bury all that. Yeah, right. And that does make you feel like I don't need this,
Mm-mm.
I
Mm-mm.
just don't need this in my life. I definitely don't need this in my life. Okay, let's flip the coin over. What would you mind telling our audience about the most incredible date, incredible woman that you have ever met? And you said this woman's got it going on. Just incredible date or relationship, or just however you want to put it.
Um. Yeah. I guess I'm trying to revert back. I did meet a person one
Take it on
time.
back. Take it on back,
Take it on
Terrence.
back. I'm gonna take
Take
it
it on
back.
back, Terrence.
Well, I met a lady one time, and I think, like I said, go back to the beginning. Communication
Absolutely.
and conversation. That was the turn on. So, like,
Absolutely.
you know, there was nothing sexual. We you know that it never went to that, but the conversation and the support she had, and just being able to tell a man that says, "Oh, okay, you know, I see what you're going through," but she was just very in tune with what I was saying, and even kind of giving me a direction, but being saying that you're okay, you're doing fine. So I think that was probably the best conversation I ever had. Just it was just the energy was just floating in that room that night, you
Right,
know,
right,
and
right,
and and
right.
it was just a conversation. It was just a conversation she had, and I was just like, she didn't know that at that time of my life, I needed something for somebody to reinform me that, you know, women are all right. Black women, we all right. Everybody ain't the same. Because I
Right,
got into a
right,
realm like,
right.
yeah, I got into a realm that I was like, mm, yeah, I don't know. You know, they say, you know, somebody said to me one time, well, go date somebody out of your own race. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just, my mother was a very supportive mother. My mother was a civil rights activist, and I look at a lot of women that I see in my mother,
Right,
and you
right,
know,
right.
and I that's what I look at. But she was a strong woman, so I'm used to strong women. But that doesn't mean
Yes.
that she wasn't a caring woman. You know, you can
Right,
be too
right,
strong. So yeah,
right.
with that time that I had that conversation with that friend of mine, that probably was the best I ever had.
Okay, ladies, take notes. Take notes. I mean, you got to support your man. You got to have great conversation with him. He'll support you. You support him. But communication is what he's saying about you've got to be a good communicator. You've got to
Right.
be a good communicator in this life. You just can't just go through life and clingy. I know men don't like clingy women, just clinging on to them, and they don't have anything at all to offer in a relationship. They want it all to come from you. A woman has got to be you know, someone the man can be proud to hold on to his arm. Am I right? Just
Yes,
somebody that
ma'am.
you just
That's right.
that make you proud.
Yeah.
You know, when you step
Right.
into that white ball, you got this fine woman with you. Not only is she beautiful on the outside, but she's got it going on the inside
Inside.
too.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a little far-fetched question
Yes,
for
ma'am.
this evening, which is, you you maybe inherited, oh, I don't know, 10 million. Maybe you played the lottery and you won 10 million, and you had all this money, and money is no object to
Hmm.
T.S. Eliot. So
Right.
T.S. is in a relationship, and he says, I'm going to take this woman on a trip, and we're going to get on a private plane, and we're going to fly somewhere. Where would you take uh, a woman that you were dating in a relationship, woman that you love, just whatever? Where would you take her? Anywhere on the earth
Anywhere
now.
on the
Where
earth.
would you take her, and why would you take her to this particular place?
Well, I probably would want to fly to Africa
Okay.
and maybe Nairobi, Kenya. I would love to go to just to embrace the culture and
Embrace it.
embrace the communication, and then just take a journey with somebody that we can see this thing together, because there's a lot that we miss from just being in the United States. And, there's beautiful waterfalls. We always get this idea that all the kids are picking from the garbage can. It is not like that,
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely.
So the stuff that
Absolutely.
you see on TV
Right. What they want
has
you to
been,
see.
yeah,
What they
has
want you
been
to see.
brainwashed people to think that Africa might be a certain way, but Uganda, different places like that is growing. And they're very open for Americans to come there to visit. Yeah.
And
So
to be
Africa,
able
yeah,
just to go over there with a companion who, like you said, the two of you could enjoy and seeing
right.
this, because there is a reserve. And in this, at this reserve, there's this fabulous hotel. They've got a fabulous restaurant, and they tell me, I think it might be Nairobi, and the giraffe, I think it's a giraffe, actually come up to, while you're eating your
What?
breakfast, they come up to the window and stick their head in. Have you
Hmm.
seen or heard of that place? Now that's where I'd like to go, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it is Nairobi. But that would
Nairobi.
be,
It's
can
probably
you
Nairobi.
imagine? Can
Yeah.
you imagine going somewhere like that, and the
Yeah.
giraffe sticks his head in, and
Yeah.
you could pat his head or just whatever? But there's a
Yeah.
lot to see. You're right, and to be able to be with a companion, female companion, would be just
Yeah.
incredible, truly, truly incredible. So
And
that
see,
is
I
where you
believe, I
want to
feel
go.
like that trip you will never forget.
Right, a trip that you would never forget, never forget. Okay, let's see what other questions I have on here. I had a crazy one. I don't know if you want to answer it. I may go to the
What
next one.
happened?
Okay, what makes you laugh when you're on a date? What makes you laugh? And you said that was
What
so
makes me laugh? Somebody with that can not be so uptight.
right, definitely.
Sometimes I've been on date, and people can get kind of shy or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm so down to earth. It's nothing, what you see is what you might think. People think, people used to say, you seem conceited, but then when they get to know me, they be like, you all right. And I think
Right,
it's
that's
just that you want to be out with somebody that you can be relaxed with. And, I'm going to bust a few jokes anyway. So we going to be
right,
laughing, so, we going to be laughing anyway. So if I can
right,
get her to
right.
laugh, I know she can get me to laugh.
Oh, well, then that's great. Take notes, ladies. It's absolutely. Okay. What about a woman that's let's go into the area of dress.
Mhm.
What do you consider as a classy lady? Like some
Mhm.
ladies think, if I show it all, show
Mhm.
everything I got on that first date, he's gonna fall deeply, madly in love with me because I'm showing it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me your impression on what you consider a classy lady in the way, just the
Um,
way she dresses?
just being classy, and I tell people, like, I see people out here and they might be maybe a plus size or something like that, and then they have the little shorts and stuff on. And I've done seen plus size women that can dress, and you be like,
Oh,
man, my
absolutely.
sister, look at you, you looking good. So
Absolutely.
I think I'm not into showing it. You look on Facebook, everybody's got something showing, and it's like competing with everybody. But I'm more of into to a woman that just we kind of blend with the day. You know what I'm saying? If we gonna go out and do something, she might wear a dress, I might wear a suit. If we doing something going out, we might wear something casual. So, but I'm not into showing it all. You know what I'm saying? That would be for
Leave,
me. You
what
feel
do
me?
they say? Leave something to the imagination.
Yeah,
Leave
yeah.
something to the
Now I
imagination.
don't mind, do
Right.
your thing, but just don't overdo it.
Overdo it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've heard a lot of men say that. Okay, now has in your years of dating and all that, have you ever been on a date with a woman that created a fairy tale date for you? Because I heard of this girl who strung those little tiny white Christmas tree lights around her deck, and that she had a, what do they call that, a boil where you have the seafood and the corn and all that.
Uh-huh.
She had boiled it, and she had a big mound of it on the table, on the patio table. She created a sort of like, and the guy told me it was like a fairy tale.
Right.
It was like, wow, I can't believe she went through all this trouble for me. She went through all this trouble for me. And there are ladies who like themes and various things, roses and
Mm-hmm.
Valentine hearts and things like that, which I personally think is rather romantic.
Yes, it
So,
is.
what's your feelings on that? Has
And
anyone
the
ever done
question
that?
is, what was the question? The question
Well,
is,
the actual question is, has any woman ever created a
okay,
fairy
yeah,
tale experience
yeah.
for you on a date?
Um, um, I had a lady one time. She said, "I'm gonna fix dinner for you," and so I said, "Well," she said, "Well, I'm gonna give you the address where I'm at, but I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna know where it's at." So I was like, "What does this mean?" So when I got there, pulled up at the complex, because it was an apartment complex, I could see these little light cubics going
Oh,
from the
wow.
steps coming all the way up the stairs.
Wow.
Dang, she did that
Wow.
for me.
Wow.
So I followed the cubic and did it went one way, but then it cut back the other way, and it just led to her door. And on the door it said, "Come on in, King." And
Oh,
I
wow.
came in, yeah. And
Wow. I love
yeah,
it.
it said, the little light cubics,
Oh,
and they light up
yes.
in different
Right.
colors. And
Absolutely.
when I got to the door, it said, "Come on in, King." So
Oh,
I
wow.
opened the door, and she was there. I mean, she was dressed nicely. Maybe like something like she had like an African attire on with a
Yeah.
head wrap,
Oh,
and
wow.
she had a African dish, and I wish I could say the name. The bread was called ungale.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just different. We sat on the
Oh,
floor,
oh
and
my.
another thing was it's kind of like the food was spread it out over like a big taco shell. So we washed our hands real good, and we ate with our hands.
Oh, wow. Oh, now
So
that is what I call truly romantic. That was
yes,
just set that theme and she kept it going. I mean, that is, and some ladies, they're not creative, I guess. I don't
yeah,
think some ladies are
but it's the
creative.
little things that count.
Yeah, it's those
You-
little things. It's
Yeah,
those little things. Absolutely. I like that, Terrence. It's those little things that count. It definitely is. Well, I'm going to ask you, I think we're getting ready to conclude here, but
yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to ask you because I know you look like you probably over 35.
I'm over 35.
35. So, you look like you may be over 35.
I'm
But
definitely
I'm
over
going to ask
35.
you this question. What advice would you give, with all the knowledge and all your relationships and everything that's happened to you in your life up to the age you are now, what advice would you give the 25-year-old Terrence T.S. Elliott? What advice would you give him?
Okay.
You know, like we always say, which we always say this,
Yeah.
if I'd only known, I said myself, if I'd only known then
Yeah.
what I know now.
Now.
So
Well,
what advice would you give
I,
yourself
I, I
25
I
years
guess I guess I will give advice. I try to give my young men that come get their locks done by me. I try to give them advice on a relationship, because a lot of people, I'm like a counselor,
Oh yes.
in this business. So talking to them, I'm just telling them in a relationship at a young age, it's just everything's just crazy right now. But you have to take time and work with.
Okay, did we lose him? Okay, we're gonna try to get him back. But we do know he says that he does counsel them, the young guys who come to his salon, his shop. He does counseling with them to help them throughout life, because the relationship area of life nowadays, the young guys, you know, they miss out on a lot of things, especially if they're from a one parent home. They miss out on a lot because, you know, mom can't really teach the men how to be a man. Mom cannot teach a young man how to be a man. So I think it's
All
wonderful.
right.
Here he is. Okay, okay. I was talking for you. I was talking for you,
Thank you.
Terrence.
Thank you.
Go ahead and finish.
And back to the question, just talking to them and tell them, you know, life is not perfect at this age. You're dealing with a lot of different elements. But in that relationship that you have with that person, you know, it's a team building thing. I think I wish I made some different changes when I was 20. But everything is a learning process. Um, but you know, you live and you learn, and you
You live and
look
you
at
learn.
man, you know, being 20 and I'm 50 now is like, you know, not so much night and day, but I just gradually got older and started being more wiser and
Being wiser.
started just
Being
listening
wiser.
more. So yeah, I would tell the young 20 T.S. Eliot to listen more and pay attention and um, do a lot better. Even learning how to. I didn't. My father wasn't there, so I had to learn how to be a father. You know, so at
Mm-hmm.
20, I was doing a whole lot. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I would just tell them that just take your time to be patient and work on that relationship and build that relationship. Definitely, if you
And
have a child by this woman.
right, right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I have learned a lot from you this evening. I really have learned a lot, you know, because we were talking about, you know, asking men some questions and wondering how they think, what men really desire in a woman. And hopefully, like I said, so many people in the audience are visiting with us this evening, and they are able to get this information and not just hearing it for enjoyment, but just hearing it and being able to process it and use that information, because men are just full of knowledge. And someone like T.S. Eliot, I mean, this young man, he has it going on. He really
Thank you.
does. He really has it going on. And I really thank him for being a part of the Princess Secret show this evening. And if we just happen to have, we're going to wait about 10 seconds here and see if we have someone who would like to ask a question in the chat, because I know I got some people there that kind of like, they haven't let themselves be known, but in the chat, if you would like to ask T.S. Eliot, Terrence T.S. Eliot, a question, please put it in the chat right now, because he's available to answer any questions that ladies would have, whether you are whatever generation you're from, whatever age group you're from, he's ready to answer that question for you. And coming across the screen is the name of his salon, which is located in Louisville, Kentucky. He's a loctician. There's his phone number is there, and he's able to take care of your beauty needs. And he's just told us at the beginning of our conversation that he's been in this business for almost 30 years. He's been here almost 30 years. So in concluding, Mr. Elliott,
Yes.
is there anything that you just pressing just to tell these women out here in the audience from your years of experience, or something that may be on your mind that you would like to say in conclusion for this evening's show? Please
Well,
tell us whatever's on your mind.
I would like to tell the women this, that just be patient. Just know that a relationship, it has to grow. Know that it's a team thing.
Wow,
There's
yes.
a reason. There's a reason it's called Mars and Venus. I'm not supposed to understand everything, so we have to open up a line of communication to have a communication. So when you're in those relationships, there's people that's introvert, and they might be not so much communicating. So it's just, you got to learn that person and pull those things out of that person, and just building people up and build your person up. My job, if I see something that makes you weak, I'm gonna make it strong. So you don't want to be in a type of situation. You want to be able to grow with that person and to lift each other up. If you feel, just say somebody doesn't feel good about if they got acne or something, but you don't line on that. You don't jump on that. You say, baby, you're beautiful. And
Absolutely.
you're beautiful to me, and I don't care what nobody says. So when you start those line of communications, and you tell the same thing, you say, boo, you beautiful too. So we open
Right,
up that,
right.
because you a king, I'm a queen, and let's create this pyramid.
Absolutely, absolutely. I certainly hope that so many people in our audience are just taking note of what you have to say. It's coming from the mouth of a man. It's coming from the mouth of a man, not from, from a female, but it's coming from the mouth of a man. I've really, really enjoyed you. And in the future, who knows,
Yes, ma'am.
beginning of the year or whatever, could we have you back?
Y'all would love to
Do
come
we have
back.
you back? He would
Yes,
love
ma'am.
to come back.
Yes,
Well, okay, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna use my trusty ink. Well, see,
ma'am.
my trusty ink pen, not my pencil. So we're gonna have him back. I just like to ask the audience just to hold on for about 30 seconds longer. I'd like to say thank you so very much,
Yes, ma'am.
Terrence Elliott, for coming on this evening. And I hope that you get everything and all the blessings that God has
Thank
for
you.
you in store. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, and
And
I'll
thank you.
talk to you soon. Okay,
All
take
right.
care.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you so
thank you,
much.
sir. Okay,
All right.
all right. Good night, Terrence.
Good
Okay,
night.
all right. And I'd like to say to my audience before they leave that you can go to my website, which is princecharmingway.com. And we have a lot on my website. We have a lot on my link tree, and hopefully my link tree, okay, that's princecharmingway.com. That's my website. You can get the book, you can get the face roller. I've got a lot, my college initiative. And that's my website coming across the screen now. So I thank you all for being here with me this evening. I tell everybody about our show. And we'll be here next Friday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock p.m. That's Pacific time, and those two time zones in between. And so, but we'll be here, and I will do and ask you to do what I ask you every week to do, which is say a prayer for the whole wide world. And thank you so very much for joining the Princess Secrets. Good night.